Well, hey there, Magic Kingdom fans. Drew and Lori here with the Disney Rabbit Hole, and today we're going to do a full walking tour of the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
Yep, we're going to start you off on Main Street, coming in the entrance, and we're going to take you around Tomorrowland, and then we're going to do a full counterclockwise circle of the park, ending back up in the hub.
All right, strap in. It's going to be a long one. Let's get going. You know my favorite place to start, Lori?
Where do you like to start, Drew?
I like to start at the beginning.
Yeah, the beginning's a good spot.
So here's Main Street Station. This is the first thing that you see when you come through the turnstiles. Unfortunately, train's still not running.
I know, I miss the train. That's really, you know, if the train were running, we wouldn't even have to walk you around the park today. We'd just get on the train.
It's true.
We'd do a full circle, and we'd be done. But nope, we're gonna do the hard work for you today.
But you know what the good news is that the reason that the train isn't running is because of construction on the Tron Light Cycle coaster, which had a big delay because of COVID, but it's back under construction now, and a lot of people think it's gonna open this year, 2022.
Yeah, it's one of Disney fans. It's like the favorite vlogger speculation point right now. Like someone will like remove a twig from the Disneyland railroad track, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, they're gonna reopen it! They're gonna reopen it! It's coming!"
Yeah, because they have been running some tests, and some other vloggers have seen the train running, but I don't actually know how close we are.
Right. Yeah. Some people think this year. Some people think next year. Disney likes to keep you guessing.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion. I'm going to trust the people who seem to know what they're talking about better than me. And they're saying late 2022, early 2023. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I mean, I can wait to see. But can you imagine the lines when Tron Light Cycle finally opens?
That kind of makes me want to barf.
Yeah,
just
I
thinking
know.
about the line.
Yeah, because I mean, that ride has been supremely delayed because of the pandemic, like many things. But really, all that means for Disney fans is that's like more time to build anticipation.
Yes. As though we need more demand right now.
Right, exactly. As you can see, this is, what do we got? It's a little bit after 11 right now.
Yeah, mid-June.
So by no means is this rope drop crowd.
This is, and it's a Monday too. So
exactly.
This is, yeah, it's summer, so it's busy, but it's a Monday, so it's not as busy as it could be.
Exactly.
Lay some facts on me, Lori.
Well, I tell you what, I read, and I'd have to confirm this with a source, but I never thought of Main Street this way before, but the idea that Main Street is your opening credits to the Magic Kingdom. You come under that little, you come under the railroad tracks, and they're kind of shaped like a curtain, like you're going past the rising curtain. And then as you come down Main Street, all the windows here, not all of them, but a lot of them are stenciled with names of the folks who contributed to the park's development and building.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Imagineers Hall of Fame.
Exactly. And it was a huge honor if your name made it into one of the business names on Main Street. There's Roy E. Disney right up there. He certainly had a big part. Drew, how do you feel about the 50th anniversary Cinderella Castle theming?
I guess I feel kind of neutral. I mean, I like that it's visually distinct, but I'm not nuts about like the rainbow iridescent thing. Not my first choice. I tend to like solid colors, I guess. Says the guy wearing the most obnoxiously loud multicolored Hawaiian shirt today, but
Well, I would be interested when this tour is complete to go back through and count exactly how many times we are reminded of the 50th anniversary, because they really didn't skimp on the 50th anniversary messaging.
no. In fact, all of the golden statues that are placed around the hub here, and I don't know, are they elsewhere in the park or just here?
They are elsewhere in the park. In fact, they have like, I know that only because I know for sure that there's a Stitch over as you enter Tomorrowland. And
Okay.
I think there's some spaced kind of other areas as well.
So
Certainly.
what's our route here?
Our route is heading, we're starting off to the right into Tomorrowland. So we're gonna go through Tomorrowland, we're gonna loop around there, and then that'll take us up through Fantasyland. And that includes going up through, oh, don't tell me, Mickey's Fair Town. I said it right before the video. But
If you know what it's actually called, leave us a comment, please.
Exactly. You go up to the area, it's got like the Barnstormer and Dumbo. So, and then you circle around past Beauty and the Beast Castle. So we're gonna go then that way through Fantasyland. That will take us to Liberty Square. And then we'll wrap around Liberty Square. We'll check out Frontierland. We'll check out Adventureland. And then we'll wind up back at the hub.
Walter just reminded us that it's called Mickey's Toontown Fair.
He tends to have a better memory for those things than I do. Oh, here we go in Tomorrowland, because as we all know, in the future, all the rocks are metallic.
Is that what I'm looking at? Metallic rocks?
I don't know, they look really metally to me. Metal! And if you look over off to the right, there's that 50th anniversary Stitch I was talking about
okay.
on the wall, and they've
Yeah.
got some pride ears painted over there for June.
That's nice.
Oh, and here we go. We'll get to see my favorite ride all through Tomorrowland, which is the People Mover.
So we got People Mover track up to the left, and we got People Mover track up to the right
Oh yeah,
as well.
it goes everywhere. It's a long ride. Nice, relaxing, takes you through some of the attractions. Yeah, I could ride the People Mover all day. I know there are Disney bloggers out there who have literally ridden the People Mover all day. I watched Disney Dan do a full day of the People Mover.
That was
And
great.
it cracked me up. He went absolutely kooky around dinner time. But I would ride the People Mover all day. Absolutely.
So the Monsters, Inc. laugh floor is off to the right.
Yep.
And I feel like off to the left is where Stitch's Great Escape used to be.
It is. And for a long time, they kept Stitch's Great Escape, like the facade up. And they did some meet and greets there, but it was actually fairly recently that they just completely tore it down. They're like, you know what? Never mind. And then up here on the right, we've got, oh, don't tell me, Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. There are various versions of this ride at several Disney parks, and I feel like they maybe all have a slightly different name, and you are completely forgiven if you never get it right. Oh my goodness, a 90-minute wait for Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin.
Yipes.
Wow.
So here's the People Mover entrance over here to the left. And if you want to see some really awesome Disney World nostalgia, you could ride the Carousel of Progress while it still exists. I feel like...
You think it's going away? They can't figure out anything to do with that rotating theater, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like maybe the capacity just isn't there, and they're like, you know what, we can't put anything too popular here, because there's just no way we can move people through this attraction fast enough.
Also over here in this island is the Astro Orbiter, which is that flying rocket ship ride.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, that thing looks like it looks like a kiddie ride. You look at that and you're like, whatever, go up in a rocket and spin around.
Yeah.
I fell into that trap, and I rode it the last time we were here. Walter and I rode it together. It spins way faster than it looks.
And it's up really high.
Yeah, it feels like it's really going fast.
Hey, Buzz.
Yeah, Buzz. I love that Buzz outfit. All right, now we're backing up here into Space Mountain territory, everyone.
There's a rumor flying around that Disney's going to overlay Space Mountain with Buzz Lightyear, but I don't believe it.
Well, and we just saw Buzz Lightyear the toy, but I've seen some. Oh my gosh, they're running tests of Tron Light Cycle.
Oh my gosh!
Saw one go by.
Here,
Look
let's
at
get
that.
as close as we can.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Here's
Absolutely.
Space Mountain over to the right.
We got Space Mountain. Sorry, Space Mountain, but you are going to be old hat when this light cycle starts running. And I mean, this is why people look at. I was making fun of people getting excited for the light cycle, and then I saw a car go by, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Do you think we just see the one?
That was it. So if you guys could see that on camera, super sweet. But yeah, I just saw it go. Just saw it go by.
So it looks like the canopy is
that canopy
finished.
looks so cool.
Yeah.
Well, look, it's pretty darn near complete if they're even testing. So
Awesome.
awesome. Here we go. Did you know that in the future, the palm trees also made out of metal?
Yeah, I read that the story of these palm trees goes that the leaves are solar panels and that the coconuts are batteries. Non-functional, it's just storytelling. Be cool if they were functional, though.
Yeah.
When your
And-
phone dies, you could just reach up and pick a coconut,
Heck yeah.
plug it in.
And here we have Stitch's spaceship. It is now inhabited by thirst rangers, but oh man, oh the mist. I don't want to fog up the lens or anything, but
Yeah, it does
I
feel
wouldn't
nice.
mind walking through a cloud of water vapor right now. All right, and if you're going to become a DVC member, the people at this little booth would totally love you to do it right here. The little known tunnel of Magic Kingdom. You're welcome, everyone. All right, we got some great gift shops off to the side here. We got the Merchant of Venice and Star Traders.
Venus, Lori, the Merchant of
Merchant
Venus.
of Venus. I am the worst with words. The concourse to Fantasyland. We have the most popular attraction at Magic Kingdom, Tomorrowland Speedway. That's a little joke because it's not, even though today you might be forgiven for thinking it is.
I do feel like people kind of dump on the Speedway a little bit.
What's their problem with the Tomorrowland Speedway? You get to drive a little car. It's great.
Do you think, Sunny Eclipse is his name, right?
Oh, I love Sunny.
You think he's performing today?
You know? Yes, I do. Let's go with yes. All right. We got a Mad Tea Party dead ahead, everyone. Yeah, for people who don't know, Sunny Eclipse is the animatronic alien who performs like a lounge act.
Yeah, he looks
inside.
like a alligator, sort of.
We got a vinylmation of Sunny Eclipse one time, and it gave our son nightmares.
Gave me nightmares.
Yeah, it was unsettling. But I love Sunny Eclipse in general. Even the Mad Tea Party is bumping today.
I feel like the Mad Tea Party, aka the Teacups,
Uh-huh.
is like iconic Disney.
It is.
If you think of one Disney ride, is it the Teacups? I think it is for me.
That might be... Man, is it the most famous? Maybe. I feel like there's just so many throwing up on the teacups jokes to be made.
Yeah. It's like the ultimate make you puke.
Yeah. I loved... I was kind of blown away. I was most familiar... Oh, there we go. We got a 50th anniversary. Mad Hatter. He's adorable. I got to know the teacups and rode the teacups a lot at Disneyland when we lived in Southern California. So when I came here after many years there, I was like, there's a roof on the teacups here?
Yeah, it's
Because
really a lot different at the Anaheim version.
Yeah. Well, and you know, you don't get that much rain in Southern California, certainly not compared to Florida. And so having uncovered teacups there, no big deal. All right, we got we have the A-ist of the A-list attractions here. I suppose it's the E-ist of the E-tickets. The Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
And over to the left, the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Uh-huh.
And if you go into that tree house right there that's marked Mr. Sanders and look closely, you can find an impression of the Nautilus ship from the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea attraction, which used to reside in that space.
Did you ever ride the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride at Disney World? Or at Magic Kingdom?
Boy, I want to say no, because I came here when I was a young teen, and people in my family went on it, but it freaked me out. The idea that you'd be underwater?
Right.
I was not okay with that.
Yeah, I do distinctly remember, my parents pointing out the boat and being like, that's as underwater as you ever go. And I was like, okay. And then when I got on the ride, the illusion is so complete that I was like, they lied to me. Oh my God, they lied to me. And now I am 20,000 leagues under the sea and I'm going to die. Although 20,000 leagues is a measure of distance, not depth. A 95-minute wait for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Oh my gosh. So here's the Be Our Guest restaurant, and up there on the mountain you can see the Beast's Castle.
That is some seriously forced perspective for you. Or is that what it's called?
Yeah.
When they make it really teensy up top?
I believe so.
So it looks far away.
This is the first restaurant at Magic Kingdom to serve booze.
Yeah.
They all do now.
This is all a relatively recent addition. I think they kind of closed down this area of the park in 2012 to expand Fantasyland. Not, you know how you know when you're in like a new area of the park? Not much shade.
Yeah.
Not much shade
Young
yet.
trees.
Here we go. We got the Bonjour Village Gifts and Gaston's Tavern. Very cool.
Little Mermaid over here.
Yeah. I do love that Gaston statue standing on top of LeFou. Maurice's amazing popping machine.
Cool. He invented that, I suppose.
I suppose so. He should get more credit.
Oh, that's a great view, isn't it?
That's beautiful.
You got Mine Train rounding the bend with Space Mountain and Tron Light Cycle Coaster in the distance.
Yeah. It's like the Magic Kingdom mashup shot right here. So Ariel's Undersea Adventure, again, I rode first at Disney's California Adventure. And I remember being super excited for that ride because we had a baby at the time and he could ride it and it was cool and kind of relaxing. And I would just go on that ride just to cool off and chill out. And our son absolutely loved that ride, especially the big scene, the big under the sea number.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love the way that Ariel's hair dances in that scene.
Yep.
And, of course, the lobster playing the clams.
Yep. All right, we've got a storybook circus coming up, everybody. And in the circus, got a few attractions.
I see Dumbo.
Dumbo.
And Dumbo, man, Dumbo is great for littles on a hot day. Because there's two separate rides. And the line is almost entirely inside. And on the inside, there's a huge play area in the center. So the kids just go play while the grown-ups wait in the line. And it's covered.
Yeah. I love that. When I saw that play area edition, I was like, number one, brilliant. And then you almost instantly turn from marveling at it to being angry that every ride doesn't have
you're like, how come we're not doing them all like this?
You've solved it. Apply elsewhere as soon as possible. And we got the Barnstormer.
which is the slowest moving coaster here at Disney World. You know what the second slowest is?
What's the second?
You're not going to believe me, but it's Space Mountain.
Isn't that crazy?
The illusion that they create inside of Space Mountain is so convincing. You think you're speeding along, but you're really not. You're going pretty slow.
And they're blowing fans on you. Make it feel faster. You know, the Barnstormer, because it's the slowest coaster and it's in this area and it's goofy themed, you know, I think it gets called the kiddie coaster. It's fine. It's
a
fun.
coaster.
It's a
fun.
coaster. We shouldn't speak of it as though it's less. Oh, the splash pad. Also, again, brilliant. Oop, lest I dead end us. We're going through the splash pad, everyone. Some big top souvenirs. Oh, what a great place to spend a hot day. Okay, well, here we go. Getting the full circle tour of the spitting camels and speeding through. Because I didn't know you just dead-ended at stairs over there. So, here we go. Time to get back to Fantasyland. Is this technically part of Fantasyland?
I don't think so. This is its own
its own?
land. Storybook. I don't know. Do you know? Leave a comment if you know. Is this a separate land or is it a subdivision of Fantasyland?
Yes, because
it seems like a subdivision now that I think about it.
yeah, and I believe it's definitely evolved over the years. Yeah.
Well, you mean all the different names it's had over the years?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's why I even hesitate to like say the names because they were always some version of Mickey's Happy Go Fun Fun Party.
Well, is that the same as this, or was that the area that the Fantasyland expansion took over?
I think you're right. I think that's what the Fantasyland expansion took over, which included this. Yes?
I actually don't know.
Yeah. Unlike Disneyland, which I watched evolve for 15 years, this was not in my daily rotation.
Did you know that all of Magic Kingdom is well above ground level?
Tell me more, Drew.
Well, because of how soggy the earth is here in Central Florida, they couldn't actually dig down to build it. They had to build up. Underneath Magic Kingdom here is a series of corridors called the Utilidor. And in order to build that, they had to build those at ground level. And as they were constructing the Seven Seas Lagoon, they took all of the dirt excavated from that project and filled in around the utilidors to create a raised platform. And how much above ground level is it? I don't remember.
It's like 108 feet above ground level.
Yeah, so
or
we're
sea level, I guess.
Or ground. I mean, I
Ground
don't.
level.
I guess level. Yeah.
Right. But
It means that we're pretty high up in the air on the second floor with a big old basement behind us, underneath us.
yeah, and can you imagine taking on a project like Walt Disney World and thinking, this isn't hard enough. Let's build something first and then build on top of it. I mean, it's a brilliant idea, like having the tunnels underneath so your personnel and everything you need can like move around the park without clogging up the works, but it must not have been a good enough idea to justify the expense going forward, because after the original park and a few other pieces like part of Epcot and part of Disney Springs, they kind of scrapped the Utilidor idea.
Oh, do you mean that there are utilidors at Epcot and Disney Springs?
Future World at Epcot has Utilidors under it. And the part of Disney Springs that was formerly known as Pleasure Island has utilidors.
Gotcha.
But then everything that expanded from there, utilidorless.
Okay.
All right, now we're going into kind of the, I don't know, it's what I think of as the classic Fantasyland.
Yeah, with the carousel.
Uh-huh.
Is it called King Arthur Carousel here?
It's like Luke and Louie's.
I think so, but we should confirm that.
I've always been sort of confused by these structures.
Right.
Because, if anything, to me it seems like they impede traffic
Uh-huh.
without adding much additional utility, though from a theming standpoint, they're huge, because I imagine what it would be like here if they were missing.
Right.
And it'd just be like a vast expanse of open space. So I guess they do provide a little bit of shade.
Yeah. Do you think that they built the park without them? And then they were like, this is just open wasteland. We need something here. And someone was like, castle turrets. Castle turrets!
Huh?
You're a pretty big Mickey's PhilharMagic fan, are you not, Laurie?
I am. I enjoy the PhilharMagic a good deal. I think it's because, well, I like it because it's a unique attraction to Magic Kingdom. They didn't have it at Disneyland. And I actually think the 3D effect and the whatever they consider the 4D effects, the like wind and everything that happens in there.
Yeah, where it spits on you and everything.
Yeah, I think it works really well. It just, yeah. And I enjoy Donald Duck getting really pissed off. Which he does.
When Donald
For sure.
loses it, it is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So Peter Pan's flight to the left over here, and then coming up on the right is It's a Small World.
And it is a small world, but it's actually a pretty big ride. Despite the small, like, front footprint.
Oh man.
Small World just keeps going. How long of a ride do you think that is, Drew? Small World.
Jeez.
I feel like that's the air conditioning the ride.
Yeah. I'm going to say 14 minutes. You think it's longer than that?
That sounds about right, but let us know in the comments if you got a direct time count on It's a Small World. I guess it depends if your boat gets stuck.
True. Now, up straight ahead, slightly to the right, is a really great occasional photo op where two people can hold one of the lanterns from Tangled
Yep.
in the evening, you know, after
Yeah.
dark.
It's a very pretty area. I mean, it's pretty right now. And it looks like from the movie, the part where she gets her hair braided and dances, but in the evening with the lanterns, it's particularly lovely.
And there's her tower right up there.
There she is. All right, so this is kind of the tail end of Fantasyland. And what we're gonna, and so you go straight from fairy tales and princesses, and then they dump you right out at the spookiest attraction in the park. Ooh, I see some shade. Yeah. So the Haunted Mansion was one that also threw me for a loop just because of how different it is
Yeah, it's
from the
totally
Disneyland
different
version.
from the Disneyland version. The Disneyland version is like a Victorian mansion,
Uh-huh.
totally clean, not spooky at all on the outside. And this one is entirely different.
Yeah. Because Disney World was where I came as a kid. I grew up in Missouri. We vacationed a couple times to Disney World. And so that's where I rode Haunted Mansion the first time. And then I moved to Southern California and became very familiar with Disneyland. And I remember the first time I rode Haunted Mansion there, I'm like, is this what the Haunted Mansion looks like? And it wasn't until I came back here like way later that I was like, okay, it's not a false memory. Like they're completely different.
There's the Liberty Bell
Yep.
paddle ship. And if you're looking for a place to use the restroom in Liberty Square, you're not going to find one. There
Yeah.
aren't any.
Don't do it here. No restrooms in Liberty Square. The irony being, well, no, it's not irony. It's because Do you want to tell them about the street, Drew, or is it too gross?
Hey, go ahead.
The idea is that this is like a, kind of founding fathers colonial version of America, and they didn't have plumbing. They just put it in a bucket and threw it out. And so the brown, what looks like a walkway.
Yeah, I don't know if you
Running-
can see it because
running
there's
through.
so many people.
This is definitely a crush right here, but there's a brown walkway running, kind of winding its way through the middle of Liberty Square. And it's supposed to be the poop everyone threw out in the buckets. That's your colonial sewers, everyone. I'll tell you, the reason there's so many people right now is because the parade, or maybe it was just a cavalcade, just went by. So everyone's figuring out the traffic flow again.
We're trying to fit through a pretty small space right now.
It's true.
It's a traffic jam.
Yep. So we'll just loop around through past the front of the stockades,
Okay.
and then we're moving again. Oh, there's going to be a little rugged terrain here. Ba-ba-bum. Ba-bum.
Like I said, I actually just
So this is that like brown river of waste
Uh-huh.
that runs through the
I know.
center of Liberty
Which-
Square.
Which you would not even think of. I don't even know. I mean, it's not a secret. It's a well-publicized kind of like factoid about Disney World. But I wonder where I heard it first. Because I was like, that can't be real. That's gross. Why would they do something so gross at a premier theme park?
So we're coming up on the Diamond Horseshoe, which is a place to grab a bite to eat and see a show.
Yeah.
And
It
then here is, I don't know what this is called. It's like the Frontierland Fort. I wonder if it has a name.
Yep, deep in Frontierland now. One of my favorite little tucked away features is the Frontier Shooting Arcade. And it's just, little, well, it's not even air rifles, it's just little fake rifles that you shoot at the various targets, but they're satisfying because they all react. You like make a vulture wave its wings, or you make like a skeleton hand pop out of a grave or something like that.
I have good memories, but it's time to get rid of gun-based attractions.
It's true. Even in the Frontier, we can do without them. Less pop guns, more bubble guns. Bubble wands. See? Disney figured it out. They turned them into bubble wands. They're not bubble guns. Country Bear Jamboree, everybody. Is this the last manifestation of the Country Bear Jamboree? I know they don't have it in Disneyland and haven't had it in Disneyland for a long time. It doesn't seem like it would translate to the international parks, but I actually don't know.
I don't know much at all about the international Disney parks. So
Yeah.
if you do, leave us a comment. Are there Country Bear Jamborees at the
Yeah.
international Disney parks?
Yeah, does anyone appreciate Country Bears?
And if there are, how were they changed?
Exactly. Ooh-wee. It's a toasty one, everyone. And here we go. Coming up on Splash Mountain, not to be Splash Mountain for that much longer.
Yeah, they're announced officially that the retheming is scheduled to be started. I wish I could tell you exactly when, but I can't
But
because I don't remember.
They did put a timeline to it at last after people kind of musing that they never would. People were starting to get snarky on the internet, like, they said they're going to retheme it. They're never going to. So,
How long ago? It was like 4 years ago.
yeah,
or
it was
something.
years ago. And, pandemic excuse insert here. But it's going. We've seen some concept art of what a Princess and the Frog retheming might look like, but really only at a very high level. But I know there's a riverboat at the end, and that's going to tie in perfectly. There is the ferry to Tom Sawyer Island, which I am afraid we will not be taking today. This is kind of one of the more dead-endy ends of the park. You come down through Frontierland, and you pretty much dead end into Big Thunder and Splash Mountain. And then you flip it around and head on out past the Briar Patch.
Yeah, because of the impending retheming and because of the hot weather, Splash Mountain is really, really popular right now.
It is. So definitely recommend that as a lightning lane attraction. Up and over the Splash Mountain River and into Adventureland.
Do you have favorite smells here at Magic Kingdom?
Here in Magic Kingdom, popcorn.
That's a good one.
That might be my main favorite smell.
I think we're coming up on my favorite smell, which is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
It's sort of like a musty, chlorine-y smell, but they pipe it in. It's intentional.
Yeah, that is interesting. And obviously really effective, because long before I found out that that was an intentional smell, I would talk about the smell of Pirates. Disney knows that you make memories with all your senses.
Right. When did Magic Kingdom open?
Magic Kingdom opened in 1971.
October, right?
October 1st, 1971. And it was under construction for about 4 years. They, I believe, broke ground in '67. It was actually after Walt's death. He did a lot. He was very involved with the planning, but not the construction.
And I was surprised to find out that were there just 3 original resorts? The Contemporary, the Polynesian, and was there another?
Well, I believe on opening day, I think it was just the Contemporary and the Polynesian. Fort Wilderness opened pretty soon after, same year.
November 1971,
Correct.
so just a month later, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, they must have hit a problem with the plumbing, and they're like, you know what, don't wait for it. Let's just go. We printed all the flyers. We got the press coming. Just open. We'll figure out the lodge later.
Getting a little relief from the sun. Thank you, clouds.
That is nice. I'll take it. Yeah, we hit our biggest crush so far on this tour in Liberty Square. But usually, if you're going to hit a crush, it's going to be on this turn in Adventureland.
Here's a tiki room right over here.
Ah, yes.
This is one of the attractions that they tried to change, and fans were like, nuh-uh. And so they changed it back.
I was one of those fans.
Yeah, you didn't even know, right? You
No.
went on it when it was under new management.
I had no idea. I came here on like a girlfriend's getaway in 2005 when it was under new management, and they had it hosted by Zazu and Yago. And they like mocked the original Tiki Room concept and then sang like horrible pop hits.
So here's the Jungle Cruise, just right down over here.
Yep.
And is this called Aladdin's Flying Carpets?
Aladdin's Flying Carpets.
These tiki dudes are cool.
They are. Yet again, everyone's willing to get spit on by whatever you have spit on them when it's this hot out. So
Truly.
you get spit on by tiki dudes, or you can round the bend by Aladdin's carpets and get spit on by a camel.
I sort of can't believe that the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse is still standing and
I know.
still open.
They're retheming though, aren't they? Has that been confirmed or is that a rumor?
I can't confirm it. They rethemed the Disneyland one.
To Tarzan's
Tarzan's
Treehouse.
Treehouse, yeah. And the story with that goes, I believe, that they were going to take it out. And the retheming is what saved the attraction.
I really like the Swiss. I mean, and here's the thing, I don't even know if I've seen Swiss Family Robinson, the whole thing. I've definitely seen parts. I don't know that I've even seen the entire movie, but I still really like this treehouse.
I call it Stairs the Ride.
It is Stairs the Ride, yeah. It's like, have you not done enough walking today at the park?
Right, do you need to go vertical?
Yeah. Would you like to go uppy downy? Have we got an attraction for you? Yeah. If they retheme it, more power to them. I like it, but it's definitely had a good run. All right, I'm gonna say that this little corridor right here is the cause of the Adventureland crush when it happens.
Right here.
I do like the Sunshine Tree Terrace, home of the orange bird. Used to be, I feel like the Dole Whip was very exclusive to the Tiki Room.
Yeah, they're slinging Dole Whips everywhere they
Yeah,
can
they're like,
nowadays.
Oh, you like these?
And why shouldn't they?
Well, of course. And how does it take that long to even get to that conclusion? Oh, these people want to spend money on this, and they would do so everywhere? No. Let's keep it exclusive to one spot.
When we get past the entrance, if we could swing back around to take a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of my favorite archways in all of Magic Kingdom.
Yes. For good reason. Nothing says archway like fake skulls. Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed when we were looking at the Adventureland sign, but there was a little Abu from Aladdin.
Up in the top right.
A 50th anniversary golden Abu in the
Thanks
corner.
to Walter for pointing that out. I
Yeah.
would have totally missed it.
I would have totally missed him. He was a well-hidden one. And then not so well-hidden is Pooh and Piglet.
Aw.
Yay. I love those guys. You know who's really been the surprise, like Winnie the Pooh character, like surging in popularity since the pandemic?
Gotta be Eeyore.
Eeyore, man. We all get Eeyore on a deeper level these days. He is depression surrounded by good friends. I love it.
Eeyore is so honest.
He is. He doesn't fake it.
You know, when somebody asks you how you're doing, and before the pandemic, we'd all say, great. But post-pandemic, we all say, getting by. Eeyore just laid it out.
Yeah, he's always laid it out, and no one appreciated it until now.
So here we are back in the hub.
Yes.
Is this statue called Partners?
I want to say yes, but I'm about to get a shot at the plaque so I can be sure, yes, it's Partners. Mickey and Walt.
Well, Lori, I wasn't sure that we were going to make it. The camera overheated a few times. We almost overheated a few times. It is a hot, sweaty, humid day in Central Florida. But there you go. It's a full circle walking tour of Magic Kingdom here in Orlando at Walt Disney World. Thank you so much for joining us.
Till next time, Black Lives Matter.